right, hello and welcome back everybody. Abby here. I'm very excited to take you through this week's Thought of the Week. We are going to be talking about how to get deeper into your obliques. So those obliques, very important abdominal muscle, and they're critically involved with rotation of the spine. And so it can be hard to isolate those obliques because a lot of times the shoulders and the hips like to kind of sneak in and take over the work. So I'll show you a few moves that you can do to get a little bit deeper into those abs. Let's get started on the mat. So once you're down on your back, we're going to break down a couple of different moves here. First one, we're going to start with the arms out to a T shape out to the side, and then we'll bring those legs up to a tabletop position. I want you to zip those legs together, make one leg. Feel the shoulders really heavy into the back of the mat. Now the shoulders are going to stay heavy as you tip those knees over to the right side, just enough so that the left hip lifts, but the left shoulder is still down. And then with your exhale, use those abs, pull your knees back to the center. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Let the knees fall to the left, right hip will lift. Big exhale as you pull those legs back to the center. You're going to take that 3 more times each way, and you can challenge your range of motion, but I want you to go only so far as you can keep those shoulders really rooted down into the mat. So what will want to happen is we can go into this really deep spine twist, and oh my gosh, it feels so good, I know, but we're getting a little bit of extra rotation out of that takes us out of our ab work. So if the focus is truly to get into those obliques, then you really have to keep those shoulders grounded. We're going to go one more time, and then come all the way back to the center. All right, plant the feet to the floor, take the hands behind the head. We're going to do sort of the opposite motion here next. So you're going to nod and curl, bring that chin to the chest, keeping your pelvis totally still. I want you to rotate your upper body from side to side. And one of the nice things about doing ab work with your head lifted is it works those upper abs, but it's also a sneaky chance for your eyes to take a peek at your pelvis and be like, I want you to stay exactly where you are. So what happens here is if you start to twist your hips, then again, your pelvis is taking over a little bit of the work away from your abs. We're taking some of that work elsewhere. So let's keep going like this. You've got 2 more each side. Then let's add a little bit more challenge to this. So as you now twist, you're going to march the same leg up to a tabletop position, head back through the center, and then twisting to the other side. And here again is a great place to practice rotating without moving the pelvis. We're just making it a little bit harder by lifting those legs. So I'm thinking about these diagonals. As I twist to the right, left rib reaching towards right hip. As I twist over to the left, that right rib towards left hip. And then see if you can take a couple more each way. Notice if you're doing this with a lot of momentum, sort of heaving yourself forward, that's another thing that's going to take that work out of purely the obliques, or like we're really trying to get deeper with it, right? So anytime you use momentum, some of those more superficial muscles are just going to start to take over. All right, give yourself a little break. Let your head come all the way back to the floor. We're going to bring those legs up to a tabletop position. Big inhale. With your exhale, nod and curl, bring that chin to the chest. Now here, can you go back to the twist of the lower half? So again, we're going to keep watching those abs and watching your pelvis. Now we want the pelvis to rotate, but you want your shoulders again to stay totally still. So that means this is just going to be a lot smaller than that twist was before. Go ahead and do that one more time each way. Come back to the center, lay your head back so your neck gets a little break. Nod and curl, come back to the chest lift. Keep your legs zipped together. We're going to rotate just the upper body. So this should be the hardest one yet. While we twist from the ribs and above, we've got those low abs locked and loaded to support our legs in tabletop. We're almost to our grand finale. So notice how keeping those fixed points, either lower or upper, helps you really feel the burn in those obliques. You should really be feeling it by now. All right, come back to the center, lay your head back. Inhale here, exhale, nod and curl. We're gonna hold that lift of the chest. Bring those legs over to the right side. We're gonna take little pulses of that chest here, coming 1 inch up, 1 inch down. If you think about your right rib reaching a little bit towards that left hip, well then does that make those obliques fire a little more? I bet it does. If you still wanna add more, maybe you try straightening those legs. Okay, you're gonna stay here for 4. That diagonal line is the key to your stability here. Last 2. Okay, other side on 1, bring those legs over to the left, right hip is lifted, small little pulses of the chest up, thinking this side about left rib towards right hip, option to straighten those legs to add a little spice to your life. We're almost done. You've got 3 abs in, that's a cue for me. Last 2. All right, good job with that. Bring those knees to the floor, feet to the floor, rather, arms to the side, and then let your knees just fall from side to side. We'll get a nice stretch for the front of the hip. Those obliques need some stretching too. Go one more time each way. And hopefully you really felt that work deep, deep, deep in those abs. So you can take those cues with you the next time you're doing ab work and you want to get deeper into your core and make sure that you're not taking the work other places. Can't wait to see you back here for the next thought of the week.